Hello everyone, this is CS Divesh Goel, practicing company secretary from Delhi. I welcome all of you on my channel on the corporate law updates and the updates on the ICSI guidelines. So we have recently discussed in our earlier videos about the ICSI CP credit hours guidelines, about the structured programs, about the unstructured programs. Even we have discussed the exemptions category also from the CPE hours. After all these such videos, we have received so many questions from the CS members, CS professionals, whether in the practice, whether in the job, through our WhatsApp group, Gyan group. The question is that a person having the qualification and membership of the ICSI, however, such person is not in employment as a company secretary, and such person is not holding any COP of the Institute of the Company Secretary. Whether still such person required to obtain the mandatory credit hours, the 20 mandatory credit hours, out of which minimum 8 should be structured and 12 can be unstructured, which we have already discussed in the earlier videos. So the question arises, a person, a CS, a person who is having the qualification of CS, but such person is doing their own business. Such person is in the employment in the any other field not relating to the CS. Whether still such person required to obtain the mandatory credit hours of the ICSI. See, recently we have discussed in our earlier video the exemptions, the persons who are exempted from the ICSI credit hour guidelines. So before watching this video, we will recommend all of you first watch those videos regarding the exemptions category of ICSI credit hours, because half answer will be clear from that video only who are exempted from the mandatory credit hours. After watching that video, after seeing all the exemption, then we come on this question. So see, one thing, if you are a member of the ICSI, on the regular basis, yearly basis, you have to renew your membership. You have to pay your membership fees on the yearly basis. Along with that, ICSI has not given you any exemptions. Even you are not in CS employment, even you are not in CS practice, still ICSI has not given you any exemption on the basis of this criteria from the mandatory credit hours. So as per the ICSI CPE credit hours guidelines, ICSI CPE credit hour guidelines, which they have issued in the September 2019, there is no such exemptions to any person who is neither in employment, even neither in COP, neither COP holder, but member of the ICSI, then such person is required to complete mandatory credit hours. There is no exemption to that person. However, there is a power with the PDC committee of the ICSI. PDC committee of the ICSI is definitely having the power to grant exemptions on the basis of some condition. But the condition mentioned there are like maternity leave, paternity leave, accident. But here, there is one point where it is mentioned such other case as may be deemed appropriate by the PDC Council. So see, on the face, there is no exemptions to any member of the ICSI to get exemption from the mandatory credit hours. But if they convince with their situation to the PDC committee of the ICSI, then definitely PDC committee is having power to grant you exemptions. But without their approval, definitely you can say there is no exemption. Every CS is required to complete mandatory 28 hours as per the guidelines of the ICSI. Hope this question is clear by this video. Even still after this video, you're having any question regarding to the CP credit hours guidelines, you can mention your question in the chat box. You can mention your question in the comment box. We will answer all your queries, whether by a new video or whether the mentioning your answer in the comment box. Further, if you, your friend or any of your relative is looking for the CS training or CS job, so me and my wife is running free of cost portal in the form of the Facebook group or the LinkedIn group. We are uploading the vacancies there on the regular basis for the betterment of this, we can say this profession, for the helping of the profession. So you can join those group. The